Hello everyone, it's DuckFairy07. Today we are playing another brutal Eldrazi build. This time, instead of cheating in the 12 mana Emrakul, we are cheating in the 15 mana Emrakul. And how are we doing this? Okay, so first, this one, let me say that this one is not my build, but actually I saw it on Twitter. Similar build, a guy named Bravo Brandon made it. He also been very successful with the deck, 3 trophies with this very similar list to this one. I changed it a bit. I maxed the all is dust in the main and added 2 Wastescape Battlemage in the main, 2 in the side, and changed just a few cards in the sideboard. But this deck has been amazing. As soon as I saw it, I had to try it, and I really was gameplay was exciting. It was one of my favorite builds, my favorite build so far that I saw on Twitter, and that wasn't actually mine. So I really had fun doing it. As soon as I saw it, I had to try it, and the deck felt amazing. I was so close to trophy also, and I feel like deck is really powerful, and I think this could be a serious contender in the Mh3 meta. Also, I guess someone also saw this build and it already went top 8 in the challenge. Pretty similar list to this one, just instead of 2 battle mages, I think they had 2 Ulamogs. Okay, that is also interesting, but I really like the battle mages a lot. 2 in the main, 2 in the side. They have been like extremely relevant against decks like Nadu, against decks like Ruby Medallion, Ruby Storm. So it was very relevant to killing the artifacts early, also killing the artifact lands, killing Urza Sagas. It was really amazing card to have in the current meta game. Okay, also my decision to max on all is dust was, I think, definitely a good one. And all is dust is like the all-star in this deck. You're always looking for this card. It's just so important to stabilize with 1 ring, then next turn with all is dust, and then you just through the breach your opponent. This deck can be incredibly powerful. Okay, 4 Kozilek's command in the main also serve as a hate piece for the graveyard, as a removal, as a card draw spell to dig for the breach, and Emrakul is just amazing card in this deck, topped by Devourer of Destiny, which if you have it in the starting hand also helps you dig for the missing pieces. And you also have Ancient Stirrings, so it's just really crazy. This deck is just playing powerful spells and digging for the through the breach combo. I feel like it is just incredibly powerful, and maybe one of 2-3 best builds I tried and saw around using Eldrazi's. Okay, so on the sideboard, very useful cards. We got Dismembers, we got Wastescape Battlemage. This card is amazing. Null Elemental Blast, Chalice of the Void, Trinisphere, great against Ruby Storm. Trinisphere just completely stop it, and all this low curve decks like Mh3 DRC decks. We got Stone Brains, Disruptor Flute, and second Gemstone Caverns. Okay, before we go to the gameplay, a reminder: if you want to support my channel, you can go down to the cardalk.com, use the link down in the video description, my link. If you use that link to purchase on their website, you are supporting my channel. They offer very sweet token solution for your paper collection, dry erasable tokens. You can check all about them on the cardalk.com. Okay, so that's it. Let's go now check out the gameplay. And the gameplay was really exciting, at least for me. This one just really enjoyed it. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, let me just first mention that in this league I played, I actually had the Thief of Existence instead of Wastescape Battlemage, but I think Wastescape Battlemage is a better option. Okay, so, but both cards are just very useful. Opponent is playing Ruby Storm, but a version with blue using Baral and some blue cantrips. Okay, so they play a couple of Vren Resolves there, and I didn't have much plays available at the moment, so I just kind of play my Thief to start attacking, kind of hoping to draw through the breach. And yeah, here it is. So draw it in the right time, and together with the Thief I have lethal on this turn. My opponent was not able to combo off, so that is the game. Let's check out the game 2. I have good sideboard cards for this matchup, especially the Trinisphere. Trinisphere is just amazing. Also, Thief of Existence can kill their Ruby Medallion, Kozilek Command can hate on their graveyard, so it's just a bunch of useful cards. I started with Devourer of Destiny's ability and Ugin Labyrinth in my hand. That's also like really helpful for the matchup, and you can see that Thief of Existence is really doing a decent job in this matchup, killing the Ruby Medallion. They often will play the Medallion on turn 2, hoping you won't kill it. But yeah, definitely have options for it in this build. And now I draw into the Trinisphere and it's just game over. Okay, let's see the sideboarding plan. As you can see, just trimming on all the talismans. I don't think they're necessary in this matchup, since all the hate is just can be played with kind of, you don't have time to play the talisman anyway, so you want to play Thief of Existence on turn 2, or just hold the mana for Kozilek Command to draw, dig for something. And yeah, okay, so all his dust is also pretty much useless. And boarded in, of course, the Gemstone Caverns on the draw, so that is it. I cast the Trinisphere, opponent scoops on Trinisphere. That is the match 1. Let's check out match 1. I was playing against Skura. Okay, let's check that one out. He was also playing Ruby Storm, but he was playing the mono red version, I think. Okay, so Emrakul is pretty good in this deck because you can imprint it into Ugin Labyrinth and kind of protect it, and it just stays there until you draw through the breach, which is kind of crazy thing. So you just have Emrakul under your land, and when you draw through the breach, you just put Emrakul into your hand at the opponent's end step, and on your turn you just through the breach. And sometimes these plays can be, this stuff really happens, and it can really be a thing. And it happened more than once that having Emrakul under the Labyrinth was really an upside, a huge upside, and just kind of hiding it there until it's relevant. Okay, so here I was holding the Kozilek's command. Opponent played a bunch of spells. They have a Ruby Medallion on field, Vren Impulse, doing a bunch of rituals, and I was waiting for this moment. Opponent casts Past in Flames. So unfortunately they had too much of the good stuff there. So I was hoping to use 2 Kozilek's command to remove as many of the good mana cards from their graveyard. So I played the Kozilek's command X4, remove 4 cards from the graveyard, and then with Eldrazi mana I play another Kozilek's command, remove 2 more cards from the graveyard, but they still had the Morphos, still had the Ral, still find another Morphos to flip the Ral, and then exilate, and at this moment I concede. That is the game. Let's check out game 2. Okay, again it is also a storm, so nothing really different, same game plan here, just boarding out all his dusts and impulses. Yeah, that is all I need here. For my Trinispheres, also Dismembers. Dismember can really be useful in this matchup. Okay, here again Dismember the Ral, play the Thought-Knot, take another Ral. So this is their hands. I think taking Ral was definitely best option. Opponent plays Ruby Medallion, plays a land, and they only have Glimpse and Wish in their hand plus the mystery card, and I draw into the Emrakul Breach and just finish my opponent on turn 4. It's just brutal. Just brutal through the breach, turn 4. Emrakul, while also just digging with Devourer and exiling a card from opponent's hand with Thought-Knot Seer, kind of protecting the combo. This deck is just brutal. I don't have other words to describe it. I really enjoy it. Also, definitely considering this deck for the for some tournaments I'll be playing in near future. Okay, so here I have Through the Breach again in my hand. They don't have the good lands, the Ugin's Labyrinth and whatever, but I have a Chalice, and again I find Dismember here to kill the Ral. I think this is really important, and luckily I find the Labyrinth here to play Thief of Existence. This should be the Battlemage, but Thief does the same job. It's just Battlemage is better against Urza Saga and killing artifact lands, so there's that. But Thief is also like a sweet card and can kill some other cards like Grist. So maybe Thief can be better if you're just playing against a bunch of Yawgmoth or whatever. Okay, so here I play Chalice on 2. Their whole deck is 2 mana, so basically they need to kill Chalice on 2 or they just can't beat this. I find another Through the Breach. Emrakul is in my hand, so what I need to do here is draw a land and just win. So I find a land with 1 ring, put the Emrakul down, and Emrakul is not actually lethal. They're on 70, but I'm killing all their lands, so it is game over. So that is it. Okay, that is another match against Storm. So doing really well against Storm is important right now. It is like a really popular deck, really strong deck. So having good cards to fight that matchup can be really good. Okay, so here I learned the lesson that it's probably in this deck probably best to always play the Eldrazi Temple on turn 1. And then if you don't draw the 2 mana land on turn 2, and then you just play the green land and play the Steerings. I think that is much better game plan than just going for the Boseiju on turn 1. Immediately this means that you're not doing anything until turn 3. So I probably think that it is better to risk a bit. Okay, so I have Eldrazi Temple in my hand, and I find another one. So if I play the Eldrazi Temple at turn 1 now, I would be able to start with turn 2 Thought-Knot, which is just really powerful. Okay, my opponent was on Nadu, and they had Springheart Nantuko on turn 2. So I go for my first Thought-Knot there, taking the Nadu, of course. Sorry, I didn't actually take the Nadu, I take the Shuko. I think that was better option. I'm not sure why my opponent didn't play Shuko there, but I had Thief of Existence, so if they played it, I would be able to kill it, so maybe opponent was thinking about that. And here they go, just play the Nadu. I was fine. I decided to take the Shuko because if I take the Nadu, they still can chord of calling for Nadu, so it didn't make much sense to take the Nadu. It was better to take the Shuko, and it was important decision because and the right one. So opponent here finds the Bristly Bill, and maybe in their place I would probably take the what is it called? I would probably take the Safekeeper, sack the 3 lands, trigger Nadu 3 times, try to go off, try to find Shuko. something like that. And yeah, here I was unfortunately missing a red land to go for the Through the Breach. But I was able to attack with my Thought-Knots. If I had like a red land, I would be able to just go immediately for Through the Breach this turn and just end the game. Immediately, like I would have lethal damage. Okay, so opponent is in top deck mode, 0 cards in their hand. They have a few good top decks, but Wall of Roots is definitely not it. So I go for the ring, draw a red source. I was looking for Through the Breach, my Emrakul, and Emrakul finishes the game. So that is game 1. Let's check out game 2. Also, let's check out the sideboarding plan against Nadu. This is very representative MTGO league. So right now, like, it is no surprise if you go through the league and just play against Ruby Storm and Nadu entire time. There's also Yawgmoth and Amulet Titan. I feel these 4 decks are the most popular one right now. Okay, so I removed the Thief of Existence. Actually, Thief of Existence kills the Shuko, but they usually play Shuko on turn when they combo off, so you mostly don't get to really use it well. And of course I brought in the Gemstone Caverns for Forest, and trimmed on Impulses, trimmed on Kozilek's Command a bit, because I feel like my sideboard cards I boarded in are a bit better. Okay, so I go for a Dismember, pass the turn. Opponent plays Springheart Nantuko, and I'm hoping for a land. I did get it here. I used the Devourer of Destiny's ability. I removed all 4 cards from the top, so that was the reason why I was able to find a combo. I just removed, to find the lands, sorry, I removed 4 non-lands from the top. This card just let me keep this type of hand and help me find the land from the top. And I was also able to find another one which was able to be which was important to be able to cast the Thought-Knot Seer there. Okay, so here I go for the Thought-Knot again. This was their hand. I took Finale of Devastation, so they're left just with lands and Springheart Nantuko. And now I went for the Stonebrain. I removed all Nadus from their deck, and it is kind of a weird situation. Opponent has a lot of stuff on the field, and now I'm forced to trade with Thought-Knot Seer, and I need exactly either Eldrazi Temple or Ugin's Labyrinth to cast All is Dust and clear their entire board. I didn't get it, so that is the game for my opponent. So let's check out game 3. Okay, so I have Ugin's Labyrinth, I have Devourer of Destiny, so I can't really describe just how powerful this start is. It's just amazing, just really truly amazing. Okay, so here I'm able to play the Stonebrain on turn 1 against Nadu. This means on turn 2 I just sack the Stonebrain and remove all Nadus from their deck, and the whole point of their deck is gone. I'm already like so much ahead, and yeah. Okay, opponent plays turn 1 Shadow Spirits, really irrelevant. And here I go for the Eldrazi Temple, remove all the Nadus, of course. And now my opponent's deck is just so much weaker. Opponent plays Stoneforge Mystic finds Kaldra, but I have Kozilek command to kill the Kaldra token, also the One Ring, and like all this dust is there in prepare to cast it if needed. But yeah, here I already have like a 5 mana, So this turn I'm expecting them to go for the Caldera token, so I will just use the Kozilek command, kill the Caldera token, make a bunch of Eldrazi Scion tokens, and the next turn then probably just go for All is Dust. Okay, so I also decide to Boseiju their Saga and just command the Caldera token. So pretty unlosable situation. Opponent realizes it and immediately concedes the match. So that is match 3. Let's check out match 4. Like it is really insane. I just don't have other words, but really insane performance by this deck. The plays are just completely crazy. It's brutally powerful. There's just no other way to say it. So many good top decks in situations like this. Opponent is taking playing the Grief Scam, but there's just so many good cards, and for some weird reason in this situation opponent didn't discard the One Ring from my hand. I'm just completely lost why that happened. Opponent just didn't discard it, and yeah, I just played the One Ring and won the game with the One Ring. I mean, the Thought-Knot Seer would be great. Thought-Knot Seer in my hand would also be a great card to have, but and I also find another ring with Ancient Steering, so it kind of didn't even matter. I would still get the One Ring, I would still get the I would also have Thought-Knot on the field, so that's, I guess that is totally fine. And here opponent uses the Felia and the White Orchid Phantom to attack my lands, but this build has a bunch of basics. I have 2 forests, I have mountain, I have wastes, so I'm not deck is not even soft on the White Phantom type of cards attacking the mana base. Just 4 basics is definitely a lot. And opponent attacks my kills my Eldrazi Temple again. I find my last basic, and then on my turn we both have the One Ring, and I'm able to All is Dust now, clear their entire board except the ring. We both have One Ring, but my top decks are just so much stronger than my opponents. And I have cards like All is Dust, which just ignores everything they do. Okay, so opponent draws more cards there and plays another One Ring, which was maybe not necessary. For opponent, I also draw into another ring and just pass the turn. I'm pretty happy just having the ring protection. And this means they can't discard me, and I have cards like Through the Breach, which work very well with the protection, so I can untap and then just be very safe, play the Thought-Knot first, see what they got in their hand. Okay, so in response opponent plays Solitude. That was pretty weird. They could just waited until Thought-Knot hits the field, then just Solitude it without using the Ephemerate. But okay, I played Thought-Knot first to be secure for the breach, and then go for the Through the Breach and attack for lethal with Emrakul. So that is the game 1 against Black-White Scam. Maybe like Black-White Scam is maybe, I think, among more popular scam variants right now. Okay, so turn 1, Ugin Labyrinth, exiling the All is Dust. And I have Thought-Knot Seers and One Ring in my hand. It's just, there's no way opponent is beating this with their deck. Okay, so Of course, they play one ring too. They can play the Grief Scam just to destroy my entire hand. But yeah, okay. Opponent actually finds the Tutsis there, and they find my ring. Draw cards with the ring, but I'm also able to resolve the ring. And once I resolve the ring against them, I'm in a much better situation than my opponent. Okay, I didn't use the ring immediately because they could have Bowmasters, but when they play Failure, I just tap the ring to draw the card. I have protection until my next turn. I have All is Dust down below the Labyrinth. Opponent plays another ring. Draw a card, and I find Thief of Existence here, so I don't think playing another ring by opponent was a good idea. I was now able to just kill their ring, and it's very questionable if they have another one, and if they don't, I'm in a big advantage. Okay, let's check the sideboarding plan for this matchup. Thieves are in because my opponent is playing the ring deck, so I have 4 thieves in. This should be, as I said before, the battle mages. What is it called? The Wastescape Battlemage. This is basically the same card as a thief, but it is a 2/2 except a 3, not a 3/4. And but it doesn't let your opponent draw a card and can kill Urza Saga and Artifact lands. So I think it is better, but Thief is not a bad card either. So if you need a bigger body and if you want to kill like some other stuff like Grists, whatever, then a Thief could be theoretically better option. Okay, so untapping with the ring here, drawing a bunch of cards. So I start off with Ancient Stirrings, and then I go for the Thought-Knot Seer. I want to check their hand, and then probably just cast the one ring, because this other one is on 4 counters, which is losing me a lot of life. Next turn. Okay, opponent plays Failure, and I take the Solitude, and then I replay the ring, and it is just game over. This Ugin Labyrinth Eldrazi decks support the ring just so well. It is a perfect card for a deck like this, and yeah, it just works so well with the Thought-Knot Seers, and especially in this version with when you have Through the Breach, so you're just buying a turn until you can turn the breach your opponent. The deck is just, in my opinion, insanely powerful and does some really nutty stuff. So definitely deck I would take to tournament if there was a tournament right now, the big one, the important one. So that's it. Okay. Okay, now let's check out the final match of this league. It was a match for a trophy. I lost this one, but the deck was good. I just didn't have much luck in this one. Okay, so first I started off by drawing the caverns from the top, which was incredibly relevant for this game, and then opponent plays turn 2 Nadu. I don't actually have ways to kill it, and I don't have a 7 mana card for my Eugene's Labyrinth, but I play the Stirrings, find All is Dust, so I can go for the Labyrinth next turn. Opponent plays the Sylvan Safekeeper, and yeah, now it is interesting game. Because next turn I have the win. I can play the Labyrinth, and I think I should have played the Eugene's Labyrinth this turn, exile the All is Dust. I think that was a better play. And next turn I have Through the Breach, Emrakul, basically just wins me the game. And opponent goes Coiling Oracle here, finding the land, and now I don't have anything to discard from their hand, they only have lands. And they have Sylvan Safekeeper in their field, which means they can actually just float the mana and try to start the combo. but incredibly my opponent finds the Outrider Encore from the top of their library, which was the best possible top deck they could have. And I Thought-Knotted them turn before, and they only had lands in hand. So it was like really strong top deck for the opponent, and the top deck that got them the win immediately. So nothing I could do about this one. Next turn I would win using the Through the Breach on Emrakul, but it wasn't meant to be. I guess this time the trophy. If I played first, or if opponent didn't top deck for that one turn, it would probably be a different game. So here I take the Labyrinth, turn 1 Ancient Stirrings. Okay, so I don't really have a lot on turn 2. I can play the Thief. I can just also go for the Dismember, since the Safekeeper is protection, so also kind of a combo piece. So it's pretty good to kill that. And here they play the Shuko, and yeah, I had multiple options here. I was thinking for a long time, do I play the Thief? Do I play the Thought-Knot Seer? Obviously they're playing a Flare of Negation when they have a Coiling Oracle in their build. So it's very likely they have it either main or side. But they played Shuko, and the Thief of Existence actually triggers on cast. So if you cast this and target Shuko, Shuko is gone if they just can't counter this effect. But they can counter Thought-Knot, and I wasn't sure if they had Flare. Flare is not very common also right now. Not a lot of decks play it. So I decided to go for the Thought-Knot. Thief was definitely safer play here. Definitely safer. And just kills the Shuko guaranteed, and if I did that I would have pretty good chance of doing much better in this game. My opponent would still be able to play the Nadu, but they would not have the Shuko, they would just have Nadu plus Urza Saga, so that wouldn't matter much, and I will be able to play my game, wait until I find Emrakul for the breach. And but yeah, I made a decision and it immediately backfired, costed me the game. That is it. Okay, you can't make a good decision every time. It wasn't maybe it was a wrong one, but I think both plays were good. Maybe a Thought-Knot was a bit riskier, but it is what it is. Okay, so all in all, this deck feels incredibly powerful. Just having like this free Through the Breach combo piece in this deck, it is kind of just completely free, and having Emrakul as another target that can be put under the Labyrinth and kind of protected by Labyrinth at the same time. Labyrinth providing you 2 mana and protecting your Emrakul from discard spells or whatever. Or like Doughty plus Totsis take your Emrakul, that is pretty disgusting. But that Labyrinth, it kind of just works very well with it. And Through the Breach in this build too, also you have like Ugin's Labyrinth and Talisman Impulse to ramp you towards the breach. And yeah, the whole deck is just very good. I think my decision to add 2 All Is Dust in the main was really key. For the aggro, when you're facing the aggro matchups, this is just the best card in this deck, and you're facing a lot of aggro matchups, a lot of Yawgmoths, a lot of Nadus, a lot of Mh3 decks. This card is just incredible, and also like making a better mat for your Ugin Labyrinth is also matters. Wastescape Battlemage, never bad. You always need it. There are always targets. There's just no deck in Modern that it's not good against. And yeah, you exile artifact or enchantment with this guy, so you can exile also Saga or artifact lands, so that is the reason why I decided in the end to have this instead of Thief, as I already explained, and that's it. So really incredible, powerful deck. Hope you like the gameplay, hope you like the league. That is all for today, and yeah, friendly reminder to click like, click subscribe. A bunch of you watch the videos, never click a subscribe button, so click the follow button and leave down in the comments about your gameplay experience with this build. How do you like it in comparison to other Eldrazi builds circulating around? And that's it. I believe this is like really among a few best ones so far. Okay, so again, thank you for watching. That's it for today, and goodbye.